Time now for today's Focus Report, and we head to Taiwan this morning, a country on an earthquake fault line and exposed to typhoons. Well, these environmental factors have significant parallels with the situation in Japan, and people are nervous in Taiwan of a repeat of the Fukushima nuclear disaster. Well, the new Taiwanese president campaigned on a pledge to phase out the island's nuclear program by 2025. But the issue of nuclear waste has not been addressed. Antoine Verlet and the team bring us today's Focus Report.
Taiwanese television broadcast these images in a continuous loop. A few days ago, demonstrators were protesting against the possible reopening of a nuclear reactor. The new president, Tsai Ing-wen, had committed to close all plants by 2025. But to achieve that goal, the road promises to be long, because Taiwan must first get rid of her radioactive waste. Toxic materials are stored here in this idyllic setting, Orchid Island. Shaman Vongyan has lived here all his life. 34 years ago, he saw the state company Taipower come to the island to bury the first barrels of radioactive waste.
Initially, we wondered what they were storing in such a large space. The Taiwanese government has said they were trying to build a canned food factory for our flying fish. They said it was good for us, the towel. They said it was going to help the local economy.
Tao is the name of the ethnic group to which Shaman Vongyan belongs, an indigenous people who have lived here for 8 centuries. Today, there are only 2,500 of them on the island, and the entire local economy is based on fishing.
I'm preparing the fish stocks for winter. We salt them, and then we dry them.
The main source of food on the island is these flying fish. He fears for his health because of the presence of nuclear waste.
Of course, it's dangerous to consume them. The place where we fish is in front of the nuclear waste site.
In this postcard setting, a handful of people fight against the Taipower group and the presence of radioactive waste. Aaron Lin has been leading the movement for 5 years.
Here, we arrive at the storage site.
The young man led us closer to the walls, where traces of radioactive pollution are most visible.
Look at the stones. You see, everything is white. Wherever the water coming out of this hole flows, everything is white. And it continues like this until the sea.
Through this gaping hole that Taipower gets rid of its wastewater. When the sea goes out, erosion is visible to the naked eye. For Aaron Lin, this is proof that his fight against nuclear power is essential.
I grew up here.
Beautiful island, right?
How could I have accepted that they are destroying it? What will we do if Fukushima happens here?
Located on a seismic fault line, Orchid Island is exposed to typhoons and earthquakes. We were given access to the nuclear waste storage site. Here, more than 100,000 barrels of radioactive waste are stored underground in these containers. Well protected, according to the head of the site, from natural disasters.
Here we face 2 threats, earthquakes and typhoons. For typhoons, there's no problem because our storage tanks are located deep in the ground. The shell's very thick and heavy too.
Because of the radiation escaping from the enclosure, the islanders fear for their health. But one more time, the site manager sweeps away the existence of risk.
You know, a quarter of people worldwide are likely to have cancer. So even if we're not here with our waste, a quarter of the inhabitants of the island could still develop it. That's just the way it is.
In the villages surrounding the storage site, Taipower has installed these signs to indicate levels of radioactivity in real time. It is never very high. Yet on the island, everyone asserts that the number of cancer cases has risen dramatically, like this woman that Aran wanted us to talk to.
Radioactivity has no smell, no colour, you can't even touch it. So when we're asked what consequences this has on our daily lives, it's hard to explain. But what is sure is that on the island, the rate of cancer cases is very high. My father died of cancer at 59 years old, and my sister's begun to develop the same symptoms.
If Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen keeps her promise, nuclear waste will be removed from Orchid Island in less than 10 years. It is urgent. Every year, in addition to the deaths,